Bonjour à tous, voilà, c'est Florent pour le journal du coin. Je suis en ce moment à la conférence Ethereum ETHCC 2026 et on fait une petite interview avec le protocole ChangeNow. Nous allons voilà, discuter avec Pauline qui est à mes côtés, mais je vais vous la présenter en anglais parce que cette interview sera en anglais. Désolé déjà d'avance pour mon accent et puis les imperfections, parce que je suis pas, on va dire, je ne parle pas couramment, parfaitement l'anglais, mais on va faire de notre mieux. Évidemment, c'est une vidéo sponsorisée, voilà. Et le journal du coin est partenaire avec ChangeNow. Today we're in Ethereum CC in Cannes, one of the key gatherings for crypto ecosystem.
Yes.
And I'm joined by someone who's been playing a key role in shaping how users access crypto in a simpler, more flexible and secure way. Pauline.
Yes.
Hi. You told me your name, but I'm afraid I will not be able to say it correctly.
Of course.
So, Pauline, you are CSO, Chief Strategy Officer in ChangeNow.
Yes, exactly.
So ChangeNow is a platform focused on non-custodial swaps and building a more seamless crypto experience.
Yes.
We're going to talk about product evolution, privacy, and where the market is heading
Of course.
next.
My favorite things to talk about.
Okay, perfect. Can you tell us a bit about your role in ChangeNow today?
Yeah, sure. First of all, I would like to say thank you so much for having me.
It's
Super
a pleasure.
excited to chat. So I oversee strategy and brand and growth over at ChangeNow. So a little bit of marketing, a little bit of business development, a little bit of product work. So for example, I research the market and tell the product team what integrations we need, and hear their feedback and so on and so forth. So for example, we're starting to work with Ondo Finance, and it was my baby.
Okay.
I kind of pushed it through. Again, multiple hats, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Before we dive in the product,
Yes.
how would you explain ChangeNow to someone discovering it for the first time?
Well, basically with us, you can exchange anything to anything, basically. That's our main business. The other ones include Now Payments, which is a crypto payment system. So basically, you can pay you can pay businesses in any crypto, and everything is very seamless and secure. And we also have Now Nodes, which is going to be a little bit harder to explain to someone who is not from the crypto space. It's a blockchain infrastructure provider. So basically, we sell nodes.
Okay, perfect. So you just spoke about that. Who is ChangeNow really built for today? Beginners, advanced users, or both?
We have a little bit of functionality, both for beginners and more advanced people. We're not really built for traders, for instance, because this is not kind of our offering. There's traders can go on a SEX or a DEX to trade. We are more targeted towards retail investors because, again, novice retail investors don't really know how to use a centralized or decentralized exchange because it's complicated. The interfaces are all over the place. Basically too many buttons, right?
Yeah.
Too many numbers, graphs, and all of that. And for example, we only have a calculator, both on our website and in our partner wallets and on our mobile apps. So basically, all you have to interact with is a calculator in its essence.
Okay.
Everything is super easy and smooth. You don't necessarily have to register. And more advanced investors can enjoy our pro version. You kind of you do have to sign up there, but levels of verification are different. You don't have to submit more about yourself, and you don't want to.
Yeah.
And for example, trading very big amounts of crypto with us is a lot more convenient and a lot more kind of cost efficient than going on an exchange.
Okay.
Because, for example, if you have like $1 million worth of, I don't know, like Monero, right? And you want to get it into USDT, you will have to trade in like very small amounts so that the market is still stable, so that you
Yeah.
don't like wreck anything and don't cause like a liquidity crisis. But if you were to, like, you have to be an experienced trader to do that, and it's going to take a long
Yeah.
time. And there is margin of error and just like an overall headache. You come to us and you can do the exact same thing in like 5 minutes.
Okay.
So smaller amounts are cost efficient too. For example, if from like you have a wallet and you need like $50 worth of Tron to send your USD, for example, like to top up a crypto card or pay somebody or something like that. We do it super fast. You don't have to go anywhere basically. And the rates are still very good.
Okay, so you explained to me that it's a lot more simple. But how do you maintain that speed and easy way to interact when you scale? You know, with
Mhm.
big. Because you said that it will work, it will be more efficient. The more crypto you're trying to swap, the
Yeah.
more efficient it is.
Yeah.
So how do you maintain this speed and this
Oh,
ease?
there's a saying that the easier the product is to interact with, the
Yeah.
more complicated it is under the hood.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
so we've built a very like contraption like very complicated trading infrastructure, blockchain infrastructure, and like liquidity infrastructure, and it's basically a lot of like very complicated and advanced engines
Yeah.
which are under the hood, and each engine is aimed at something. So like we have an engine for trading, an engine for storing crypto, an engine for maintaining liquidity on all of the hot wallets. So basically, it's something similar to how a SEX works, but in a slightly different way. So we've had a few very rapid scaling events. Um, they usually happen when the market is kind of like going crazy.
Yeah.
We
Currency.
yeah, we usually during times like this, we usually like beat all of the previous transaction amount records and like volume records and stuff like that. So anytime like a big scaling event happens, it kind of like underlines the things that could work better, and usually they're like the main motivator to scale internally, especially in terms of trading infrastructure, because again, very complicated, very advanced.
Yeah.
It's like our tech department is the biggest one in the company, which has like around 50 to 60 people,
Yeah.
and all of them are like working on the internals, let's say.
So, well, we will not go deeper in the technical stuff right now because it will take hours,
Of course.
of course. And to speak about some features that you are proposing, private send
Yes.
is one of your most talked about feature. And how would you explain it simply?
Yeah, of course. So, you, for example, are a whale
Yeah,
and you have a lot of money on
I
your wallet.
wish.
Me too. Believe me too. So, and you have a wallet, for example, with a lot of money, and you don't really want to, and you have to send crypto to somebody, and you don't really want that person to know how much money you have. Ideally, you would not want anyone to know how much money you got, right? So private send works in such a way that we kind of are the middleman between your big wallet and the person who's supposed to receive crypto, because the person who's going to receive crypto is going to get money from us, from our own wallet. And the receiver is not going to see what wallet the money came from. So
Okay.
it's basically, I wouldn't call this a mixer.
It's
Uh,
intermediate.
well, like an intermediary, I guess. Yes, like a privatizer. Because we've seen a lot of cases where people like watch whales and then do bad things to them. They're like either they hack them or physically assault them. There have
Yeah,
been
sure.
like many such cases.
Yes, sure. In France, it's a big subject. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that one of the people from Ledger got his
Yeah,
finger
sure.
cut off. So
And he's not the only one, and it's a very big problem around cryptocurrency and
yeah, exactly,
in France.
exactly. So in with our feature, you can basically get rid of that risk, even if like partially, right? So it's a big one. I'm super happy that it came out because I'm like a very big fan of online privacy. I'm like obsessed with it. I can talk about
Yeah.
it for ages because we are in an age. See, I'm starting. I'm starting to talk
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
We are
Sure.
in an age where online privacy and like privacy in general is being very much compromised,
Yeah.
both by governments, by tech institutions, by regular people, and it's bad. It's not
Sure,
good.
sure. Do you think that blockchain transparency and and the ask for more transparency about even institutions and everything who really are looking for transparency and everything, is it starting to feel like surveillance for
It is. It is.
in a
It's
way?
like it's not just about Web3, right? Even though both with like AI agents and the increased regulations like MICA, like the Clarity Act in the US, and a few others, they are basically forcing all of the, like crypto users, they're forcing them to identify themselves. And blockchain has been about the opposite thing, right?
From the
Uh,
beginning, yeah.
yes, from the beginning, it was meant to be anonymous, right? And right now, all the regulations are kind of sabotaging that. And in terms of just like regular online safety and online privacy, we've had a few very devastating laws and bills introduced that kind of make it available, like make it so that the big tech companies, with like help from the government, because it's probably most likely the government request,
Yeah.
um, they're basically going to surveil anyone online. Like you already have to verify your age to use Reddit in a few countries, including the UK with their kids online safety bill. Because again, it's like under the guise of protecting children.
Yeah.
It's always going to be about children. Um, and in the US, they are going to repeal a law called Section 230, which basically waives the liability for all content-based platforms like social media and blogging and things like that. It's going to make them not liable for the content that is posted by users. So they basically meant that anyone could go online and say anything they want. But with that law repealed, it's going to shift the responsibility for the content back onto social media platforms. And the social media is going to moderate everything with the help of AI. And they need to know who you are so that if you say a bad thing online, and the criteria of bad things are going to be very different from
Yeah.
country to country. And they're going to prosecute you for being like for bad speech, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And this basically cancels all of the free speech foundations for the internet, not just Web3, right? And in terms of Web3, if you pay somebody and they're gonna know who you are, or if you receive money from somebody, you can be prosecuted. You can be prosecuting, like in some countries, you can be prosecuted for donating to non-government organizations, for example, right? Like in Russia and Belarus, if you send money to people the government thinks is bad, they're going to find you and they're going to prosecute you. That you're going
Okay.
to get into prison. So a lot of these organizations basically, they still are being financed by crypto because it's a lot harder to trace. And it's not just in Eastern Europe, it's works in Europe as well. Not so much in the United States, but that's a whole other topic.
Yeah.
I can talk about it forever.
We're in Europe.
Yeah, we're in Europe, so we're gonna talk about Europe.
And so, well, my next question comes from there. So how do you balance privacy
Yeah.
with compliance?
Yes, of course. We are very compliant, I can assure you. And we managed to balance privacy and compliance in a way that doesn't necessarily hinder the user experience, right? Because we do have a pretty advanced and complex AML system, which is running under the hood. So if somebody sends us like bad money, which have been previously used for, I don't know, like child trafficking or something,
Yeah.
we're going to ask for a KYC procedure that the person in question can refuse. And we're just going to give them a refund and say, like, sorry, please don't come again. We are in partnership with police departments, like pretty much all over the world, from like Singapore to Ukraine to Malaysia to like, well, basically like to Africa.
I saw on the blog that you helped to recover some money and
We do it all the time,
yeah.
basically. So we have a special internal chat where our confined staff just like sometimes it's like 2-3 times a day they're like, we gave back money to this person, we gave back money to that person, we gave back money to this person in like in collaboration with this police, this police, this police. Sometimes I do receive like certain subpoenas from the American police departments because they
Okay.
sometimes think that I need to see them. So yeah, we are very committed to privacy, even though there are some drawbacks in terms of like requesting KYC, but still, we still manage to kind of keep everything as easy as possible because we do respect our clients. And our clients come to us because you can do a swap, no strings attached, right? Um, and we're going to try and keep it as is for as long as we can, basically, because we always like watch various developments in the web, like in Web3 law. We have a pretty big legal team who is always like monitoring things and like regulations and licensing requirements and all stuff like that. But also they're like, you should not post that on social media. So I'm like mad at them.
Of course. How is it possible to not be?
I mean, everybody hates
Yeah,
lawyers.
sure. And to switch to another feature,
Yes.
because you propose a lot. You've also launched limit orders.
Yeah.
Why did you introduce this
Uh,
feature?
There has been quite a lot of requests from both users and our wallet partners to introduce limit orders because not everyone, like, there are some retail investors who kind of want to enjoy a more centralized exchange-like experience. And they don't have time to look at graphs all day, so that they can just set a limit order with the pro version. and basically wait for the swap to complete at some point.
Basically, it's more like something that the community
Yeah.
was asking for.
The community was asking, and our partners, which we have like 500 of or something, maybe even more. It's probably in the thousands at this point. And yeah, quite a lot of them have been requesting that feature to integrate into their wallets and platforms, and basically anything that might enjoy like a crypto processing engine, right? So yeah, we listened because we do listen a lot. And yeah, we got them done.
Okay, great. And another topic that is very important recently, well, it's coming for years, but recently it took a lot of the light, is the topic of the real world assets,
Yeah.
RWA.
Yeah,
To use the
I am very excited about RWAs because, and again, like warning, this is gonna be a long spiel. So basically,
So you just to say it,
yes,
you implemented the ability to swap.
yes, we have listed quite a few RWAs like tokenized stocks, and I think we've listed oil, and we've listed gold and silver.
Yeah.
We're still in the process of like expanding our RWA offering, and basically my insistence on Ondo finance has also been kind of influenced by the popularity of RWAs. And honestly, RWAs have existed, again, as you said, for many years, but people were kind of tokenizing the wrong things, like real estate, diamonds in some place, like what else was there? People have tried to tokenize oil. People have tried to tokenize like a Lamborghini steering wheel or
Yeah. Okay.
something to get dividends. And
They're tokenizing, race horses.
yeah, race horses, dog shows, and things like that. And it is interesting when you look at it from like a faraway perspective, but at the same time, there was no customer protections. So like all of these projects were mostly unverified. They didn't have any coherent promise behind them. They didn't have any way to verify that they are in possession of these items that they were tokenizing. Like I remember somebody came up with a thing which was tokenizing Mexican forests,
Okay.
and it turned out to be like a fluke.
Yeah. Okay.
Basic.
There were no forest.
Uh,
It was a desert.
Perhaps the people who came up with it, they didn't really know themselves whether there were forests in the first
Yeah.
place, because I'm friends with a PR guy, and he basically was like, it was a few years ago, he was basically tasked with um, coming up with like a PR strategy for the project. We still laugh about it sometimes when we meet, because again, he was like, people were scamming. So it was interesting to say the least. But coming back to the question, I am super excited about RWAs because this is finally crypto finally is getting like real world utility, because we have hype events all the time in crypto, right?
Yeah.
We have we've had meme coins, we've had SocialFi, we've had NFTs, and basically all of that was either like a casino, which I personally don't really have like a lot of problems about. I still think that it's like gambling is unethical and people shouldn't
It's
gamble.
another gambling,
Yeah.
another way of.
Yeah. Like I don't think people should gamble because you can develop an addiction. And just a disclaimer. So basically, it was either like straight up value extraction or gambling or both. And if you were to ask like an average person who doesn't really know anything about Web3, like if you were to ask them, what do you think about crypto? They're giving me like, oh, it's either like a casino. They're gonna say it's either like a casino, a scam, or both, right? And real world assets finally uh, kind of bring, again, as I've said, bring utility to the crypto space, and they make crypto useful for real people. Like, I'm not saying that payments don't exist, because payments do, and I am a big fan of stablecoins. But again, when it comes to real world assets, uh, it's the closest to unbanking the banked event we've ever seen, right? Because, for example, if you were to purchase stock in Apple or Tesla
Yeah.
or OpenAI, God forbid, um, you had to go to a broker, and like, not all brokers have like a lot of options available to trade. It might be hard to trade commodities because the lots are way too big. And right now, you don't have to do all that. And not to mention, not people from not every country were able to invest and trade into like treasury bonds and commodities and specific stock.
Of course.
And right now, they can do it easily. For example, on ChangeNow, they can just come in. For example, they want to try a little bit of like an investment into Apple, right? They come onto our website, and you can buy Apple with either like a credit card or with Bitcoin, with Solana, with anything. And what's most important is that RWAs actually allow you to own stock, because for example, like with a broker like Robinhood, you come in with money, like with fiat, and you leave with fiat. And right now, you can actually own a fraction or like multiple stocks in your crypto wallet. It's right here with you. And trading and investing is available 24/7, and all of the tokenized stocks are available in like basically worldwide
Yeah,
to anybody with a crypto wallet, or to anybody with a credit card, because they can buy crypto this way as well. So yeah, I'm very excited about it. I've been asking our product team to look into Ondo Finance for 3 months.
yeah.
I've been talking about it like crazy. In the morning, at night, I would just like text them and text them and text them and be like, hey, we need Ondo. We do need Ondo. When Ondo Finance? And recently, I think they caved in finally. And right now they're like researching everything to integrate. We've already integrated Ondo into Now Wallet, which is quite a big thing. So right now you can, again, as I've said, you can own stock, you can own equity, you can own oil, silver, platinum, tokenized bonds, anything, and you can access it on your phone, and you can actually pay somebody in Apple
Yes.
stock now. So,
Okay.
for example, like you have something you need to buy, like you're buying a used car, or you're buying like an iPhone or something, and
Yeah, it will be relevant to pay an
yeah,
iPhone with Apple stocks.
yes, and you can just tell the person you're selling to, like, yo, I have Apple stock.
Maybe you can have a discount.
Yes, or yes, super, let's do it. And I think it's wonderful in a way,
Yeah.
because again, right now in this type of market, people are kind of flocking towards RWAs because they offer more long-term stability. They offer more accessible investments. There's a little bit less speculation. So RWAs are kind of like the perfect addition to the market, especially in these trying times.
So how do you think that RWAs are going to impact the traditional finance in, let's say, the 5 coming years?
I don't think it's going to be a lot like it's not going to destabilize the market as previously was thought. Because again, um, RWAs are boring.
Yeah.
They are not like
It's not gambling.
it's not gambling. Yeah, they have perpetual, like they have perps for that now.
Yeah, sure.
Perpetual futures, I think they're called.
And 1% of or 2% of changing, is something very big for them. But for somebody who is in crypto, 1%, 2% of variation in the
Yes.
prices, it's nothing.
Exactly. And like people are doing like perps and prediction markets now. I kind of think that that part is going to probably that part is going to be stabilizing the market a little bit more.
Are you becoming a full crypto getaway?
Basically, this is the goal. Yes. We are planning on being, we already kind of are like an everything crypto platform if you think about it this way. So in our pro version, you can like hold a deposit because we do have a wallet in there, like a custodial one. You're able to buy crypto, able to exchange crypto. So like if you are a retail investor, you don't really need any other apps, right? Because we do have a ramp, we do have exchanging, we do have storage, we do have staking and yield built in. You can take a loan. So yeah, basically ChangeNow Pro already kind of is an everything crypto platform.
And starting on this point, what about a French retail user?
Actually, when it comes to to the EEA,
Yeah.
France is one of our biggest markets. I think Germany is the second one.
Okay.
So we've got a lot of we've got a lot of people from France coming in. We've adjusted the localization so that it's more accessible to French users, because we do know that not a lot of people in France are Anglophones. So for us, localization into French was very important so that our French users could understand everything fairly clearly. And right now we are kind of expanding more into Europe, which was a little bit of a change in plans because our big plans for 2026 were the MENA region. But with what is happening there, those plans kind of got put on hold. So we're doing more of Europe now. And we have quite a lot of like bigger partners who are European companies. For example, like Trezor is one of the biggest ones.
Yeah, the wallets.
Yes,
Yes.
we're also in
They're
talks
from
about
Czech.
yes, Czech Republic.
Czech Republic.
Yeah. We also are in talks with Ledger about a partnership, which is
So the
also,
French ones.
yes, they're French. And yes, Europe is a lot more interesting, for example, compared to the US, because people like crypto people in Europe are more like decentralization and financial independence. These are like the main interests, while the States have like prediction markets.
Yes.
So yeah, we do see a lot of potential in the European Economic Area. We are in works of like doing more advanced licensing so that everything like we stay as compliant as possible. And we do collaborate, like again, as I've said, we do collaborate with a lot of like law enforcement agencies in Europe, including like Europol, for example.
Okay, and so maybe to finish this interview,
Yes.
what makes you optimistic in the future of crypto? How do you see the evolvement?
Yes. I am very optimistic on the like actual human real world utility that is finally coming into crypto in terms of stable
We've been waiting for them for a
Yes.
long time.
In terms of stable coins, in terms of again, tokenized real world assets. And it finally makes me think that there is hope for crypto kind of like getting rid of that casino slash scam reputation, which for me personally, it's like very important. I do quite a lot of work on like in my like public speaking and the articles that I sometimes post. For me, legitimizing crypto is very important. And again, I do a lot of work on it. So right now, this is like a very big vindication moment for me.
Okay, great. So thank you, Pauline.
Thank you.
And we'll see this interview on Journal du Coin, I think, on our YouTube channel.
Perfect.
So have a great
You too.
stay in Cannes, in
Yeah.
Ethereum City.
Thank you so much.
Thank
It's been
you.
amazing.
And don't forget, in French, abonnez-vous, like the video.
Nice.
Thank you, bye.
Thank you.